After years of the NASCAR fan base begging and pleading, please NASCAR, move the Homestead date back to the final race of the season. They finally listened to you. They moved the date to March. Look at the bright side though. I got this awesome stat here for you. The last time NASCAR moved the Homestead date to this exact weekend in March, they didn't even get to race it because a global pandemic broke out. But that's okay. At least I'll be in attendance, and there's a lot of new badass looking paint schemes to review. Let's go. I got some pretty bad news if you were looking into buying a Kubota, but great news for the eyeballs of NASCAR fans everywhere. The Kubota Orange Day sale event seems to be officially over. Now, instead of getting the year's best selection and best deals with one of the shittiest paint schemes of the year, instead you're going to get the same selection with shittier deals and a paint scheme that doesn't make me want to throw up. 7. Don't look now, but Syndrome's actually doing a really good job of getting all those points back from when he dumped Ty Dillon at COTA. I hate to say it, but the guy's actually having a career season so far. He's led the second most laps out of anyone in NASCAR. 6. I had a Bass Pro Shops insider fill me in with a little bit of information on their sponsorship. Basically, the Austin Dillon cars are going to be all hunting related, and Chase Briscoe is going to be all fishing related. Which does make sense because Austin Dillon has attempted vehicular manslaughter multiple times, and Chase Briscoe just runs mid-pack in a top-tier ride and makes children. 9. I gotta tell you, the Beefaroo sponsorship is finally working. They had so many pop-up ads this week on NASCAR.com when I was getting these paint schemes. I desperately need to try it. The only problem is, it says the nearest one is in Illinois, which is about where Noah finished last weekend after I accidentally bet him to finish as the top Ford, not once, but twice. 7. The glaze is going to be at all-time high levels this weekend because Kyle is competing in all 3 races. Glaze on. 10. I wonder if this is a sponsorship that the driver actually uses. You know, because I'm assuming back in the day when Mark Martin was sponsored by Viagra, he was definitely seeing his doctor because that puppy was lasting more than 4 hours. So does Brad have high cholesterol? 9. Are we sure the 7 car isn't just cursed to be mid? I think we can all agree that Justin Haley is getting outperformed by both of his teammates right now. You know what? I'm just going to blame it on this Gamebridge scheme. 3. I mentioned something last week about Kyle Busch probably not even being a degenerate gambler, yet still being sponsored by BetMGM. Well, I think Denny Hamlin heard that and took it as an opportunity to steal sponsorship because he went out and won like $200,000 on slots in Vegas. And while all that was happening, what do you think Kyle was doing? Being a dad or something? Fucking lame. So basically what I'm saying, Kyle, is you shouldn't be sponsored by a bank this week because you clearly have no money to deposit. Because I'm sure a 33rd at Vegas probably didn't pay much. 8. Congratulations, Lawrence Stroll and Aston Martin Formula One for your first entry into NASCAR. Hold on, I just received word. This isn't actually Aston Martin. This is a terribly shitty paint scheme from a terribly shitty uniform brand with a terribly shitty driver. 0. Now this is a really tough one to review because at first glance, this car is absolutely gorgeous. The only problem is they copy and pasted it directly from the Junior Motorsports Daytona 500 entry. I don't support identity theft because it's not a joke and millions of families suffer from it every year, but I'm sure my buddy Dale Jr. probably doesn't give a fuck. 10. After weeks of giving Joe Gibbs a hard time for not being able to find Denny Hamlin any sponsorship, they go and sign an 18-race deal with Progressive. I kind of have mixed feelings here because on one hand, I'm really happy that a big company is entering the sport. On the other hand, I pay $1,200 to Progressive every 6 months, and this is what they use my money for? But I'll give them credit because this paint scheme is going to do a great job of sticking out without being too loud. It's an absolutely perfect use of the extra space. Notice how instead of just putting a massive P next to the number, they put Progressive down the entire side of the car all the way down the quarter. And at the same time, while doing that, it also gives sports clips a much better spot and a much larger spot of the car. This is a great paint scheme. My only gripe is the P on the hood. I don't like that it goes all the way down the bumper. 9. I already said it on Twitter, but this paint scheme looks like when Lightning McQueen had dreams of joining Dynaco. It's also good they have Dent Wizard on the car because Blaney's going to need him after he wrecked himself at Vegas when I had U.S. currency on him. I am so tired of seeing every Blaney fan cry about his bad luck this year. He's 7th in points and he wrecked himself. That's not bad luck. 8. Dinger actually ran really good at Vegas, and I read a stat that he's 3 for 3 on top 10s at Homestead in a next-gen car. 6. Mr. Busher. I think we have proof that my little rant last week actually worked. Because although the hood is still white, they did get rid of the shopping cart. This is a major step in the right direction. And honestly, the white hood actually makes sense on this car. So good work, Kroger. We'll see what you do next week. 9. A lot of you guys clowned on me for my emergency paint scheme review of this ogre of a race car. But the proof is in the pudding, guys. Even the tires hated this car. They hated it so much that one of them went flying off. 0. I am so excited that Rheem decided to bring back the worst paint scheme in the history of NASCAR. Everything Progressive and Joe Gibbs did good with the Denny Hamlin scheme, they do the exact opposite with this shitbox. 0. Joshy! Tried to tell you guys before the season, Josh Berry was going to be a legitimate threat to win the championship. And I also told you guys last week that when Wood Brothers has good drivers in their cars, they run great at Vegas. What I didn't tell you guys, though, is that this past weekend, my future brother-in-law stayed with us. And his name? Joshy! So we should have all seen this one coming. Buddy watches his first race, and the guy with the same name as him wins. And I won $400, which means I just helped create yet another degenerate NASCAR fan. Plus, Josh Berry wears driven sunglasses, so that probably helped him too. But this paint scheme fucks. 10. 6. I told Emily last week that they had made another fish paint scheme for Bubba. Her first words were, "Oh my God, did they add any pink?" Yes, they did. And it's awesome. It looks like this fish played GTA Vice City. 10. I didn't mention it last week, and I've had withdrawals ever since. Willie B, you fumbled the bag. Wow, I feel better. 7. Hey, Todd, I'll be in turn 1 on Sunday with the biggest Todd Gilliland fan I think on planet Earth. I'm sure you'll see us. 10. This paint scheme does a disservice to casinos everywhere. Fucking awful. 0. Since they ran this car first at Atlanta, it's grown on me every week, and we've officially gotten there. 10. What's the deal? Did we run out of money or something? I mean, this is just absolutely awful. See you at New Smyrna Saturday night. 0. Well, John, you lost that bet with Spider, which means you got to give him a fire suit. I was really hoping you'd pick up a top 10. Not just because I wanted to see Spider shave his head bald, but I also had money on you. I'll be in Miami this weekend if you want a part 2 of the interview. You could probably rag on me now because you're actually running pretty good. And this paint scheme, also pretty good. 9. Eric, on the other hand, though, we could retire this one and go back to last year's. 2. This is going to be an unpopular opinion, but the Jordan cars suck. First of all, the logo placement on this is just completely abysmal. The hood, terrible. And the complete and utter lack of a transition from ombre to khaki on the bumper, awful. It looks like when all the girls were dyeing the tip of their hair pink, but worse. Let's not forget, this basically means the car is unsponsored. 0. Did Jake Paul let Mike Tyson design this race car? It looks like it was made on clip art. I was expecting a lot better. 0. Ally! This car looks like those people you see on TikTok that doodle tattoos all over their entire body. Alex Bowman would probably prefer to break his back again than drive in this kindergarten coloring book. 1. They really couldn't have put anybody but Cody Ware in this car. 5. I think I've been too nice to Ty Gibbs. Not only will he never win a race, I think this guy actually fucking sucks. 6. Ryan Preece tied the best finish of his entire career at Vegas. It's the driven sunglasses. 10. I like how they keep making slight changes to this Delaware life scheme, but somehow they keep making it even worse. 0. In case you're living under a rock, every single driver that's won a cup race so far this year has a last name that starts with B. Good thing Carson officially got his last name changed to Brosevar. Carson finished 12th in his first truck race at Homestead. The next time he went, he won. Last year, Carson finished 9th in the cup race at Homestead. This year, he wins. Carson, I'm staying at the casino this weekend. Why don't you come by, get a couple drinks, win a bunch of money on slots, and then I'll have my fiance drive us to the nearest Chili's where we get wasted. Or just a little tipsy. Up to you. Can't wait to watch History Made Sunday. 8. It seems kind of fucked up to have one of the only non-American drivers in the full American flag car. For that, 0. Crocodile. 7. And the big baby scumbag paint scheme of the week goes to...
Money in my face, what? Hoes in my face, what? Pocket full of money, I ain't running out of space. What? Mama said, baby, you done came a long way. Woo. Still eating ramen noodles, bitch, I like the taste.